Well, welcome everybody. It's Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you all so much for being a part of the broadcast. And it is about, it's almost midweek. So, yeah, I guess it's midweek. And so we're very excited about being on the show today. Want to let you know, folks, before we get going today, that we've got a full show today. I've got three major subjects we want to talk about because we've been getting a lot of feedback on this. So when we get back, we're going to talk about Anthony Fauci. We're going to talk about the DSA, but we're definitely going to be talking about Zoran the Destroyer in New York City. So we'll be back in just a minute, folks. Stick around for the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Sherman Ray. We'll be back in just a second. Wow, got something in my throat there. Yeah, that's very interesting. So I want to welcome you all back to the show, folks. Sherman Ray, this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the show today. I'm looking around. It's funny. We're getting more people that are checking out the show, and so we decided we better get on this YouTube channel thing as much as we possibly can. We have been, if you've probably been noticing, we've been putting up a lot more of our shorts up there because we get a lot of people who are just digging a lot of our, the stuff that we're putting on Facebook and stuff like that. So we're very excited about that. Before we get going too much further, go ahead and follow us on our Facebook page, on our website, thenevadaconservative.com, nevadaconservative.com. You can email us too, folks. And we're starting a mailing list. So I know a lot of people have been wondering, they're going, hey, we'd like to get this in our inbox on a daily basis. So we're really going to be doing that too. So you could write to us at thenevadaconservative at gmail.com, thenevadaconservative at gmail.com. And we'd love to have you there. You also can check us out on Tumblr, on Rumble, on Truth Social, all over the place, folks. But it's blowing up on Facebook. I mean, really, it's blowing up on Facebook. Thank you so much for all you folks that are sticking around with us there. We love you, and thank you so much. And for those of you who don't think we actually read it, I read all of the responses. And if you comment and it's something that I kind of like, I actually even respond to you. So, yeah, I do. I really do. And it's me personally responding. So, let's talk about what is the biggest thing right now. And it's happened earlier this week. It was on a Monday. And Dr. Anthony Fauci went up to the Senate, was in a Senate hearing, and he was talking about his part that he played in the COVID response. Now, this was big, folks, because Anthony Fauci was the guy who was the head of the NIH, the National Institute of Health, and he was the one who was basically giving directions to then President Trump. He was 45 then. Excuse me. And he was giving him his, directions on what he believed was going to be the response for this COVID virus that was going around, not just in America, globally. And so I know a lot of you people are like me. You lost friends, you lost loved ones as a result of this. And not only that, but there was a lot of people who had suspicions that this whole thing was contrived and that it was made worse than it actually needed to be. And I think that's the biggest reason why people like Rand Paul, others, excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat here really quick, folks. Oh, wow. People like Rand Paul were really just after Anthony Fauci because they, one, didn't believe that the drugs that we were using, that they were the right ones. Number two, they didn't believe that the response was what it should have been. And the biggest one is they didn't believe Anthony Fauci about the whole Wuhan market thing. And so they said, we're going to bring you up and we're going to question you again. Well, this was helped out even more when they were given Anthony Fauci's diary. Yeah, so Robert Kennedy, who is now the head of the, what is he head of now? Food and FDA, I believe it is, something like that. When they were searching around in some archives in D.C., they found in, I think, 5 or 6 different places where Anthony Fauci had kept a diary, a digital copy of his daily thoughts and routines and stuff like that. And they found it, they compiled it, they gave it to Rand Paul. Rand Paul read this thing and went, "You've got to be kidding me," because some of this stuff was not just salacious, it borderlined on narcissism beyond belief. And so when they brought him up on Capitol Hill, they were fit to be tied, because this guy Anthony Fauci had been telling the world that, guess what? He was telling the world one thing, but then behind the scenes he was doing another thing. He was telling the world lockdown, masks, vaccinations, but behind the scenes he was going, well, maybe not so much. He was telling everybody 6-foot distancing didn't really have a scientific basis for it. Some of the drug compounds we were using were unproven. Some of them were proven. Some of them that were proven, he said, no, let's not use that. Let's use the new stuff. And people were just getting upset. Not only upset, but they were dying. Now, I've been getting a lot of pushback on this, guys, because a lot of people love Anthony Fauci. I mean, they just love him. They think he's the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. They love him more than peanut butter and jelly, okay? They love him more than, I don't know, Toastums. I don't know. They love this guy. They love him more than Julia Roberts or Barbara Streisand, because she was in the diary too, for some of you. If you guys want to see this diary, you just go on to our website. Go on our website at thenevadaconservative.com. We actually have the diary there. It's in one of the articles that we have, and you can actually read the entire thing yourself. So don't take my word for it. You just go and read it yourself. So anyways, so he was telling the world one thing, but he was doing another thing. He was hanging out with the swells over here, but he was telling you and I, don't go to church, don't go to your grandma's house because she might be dying. You know, don't do all this other stuff. Wear 6 and 7 masks, but in private he was going, really? These masks don't do anything. And so then he gets a pardon by the Biden administration. And the pardon stretched from 2014 up to 2025, which is just kind of weird dates. So they brought him up on Capitol Hill and they said, look, you've been given a pardon. We want you to start talking about why and who and what and where relating to this whole COVID thing. And so here's Anthony Fauci, and we actually posted this on our website or on our Facebook page. It's one of the drop downs, guys. You can check it out. You can see the whole thing. It's a 3-hour video. And Anthony Fauci gave the same answer the entire time. Under the advice of my counsel, I refuse to answer any of your questions, based upon the Constitution of the United States. And he did that 111 times. One guy says, tell me what color your shoes are. I'm under advice of my counsel. This was ridiculous. A guy who spent a couple of years telling you and I what to do. He's going on TV. He's doing all this other great stuff. Now all of a sudden he's as quiet as a church mouse. And so we posted this on our Facebook page. We posted it on Instagram, and people, it was just like, it was like the Civil War. Either you were on the North or you were on the South. That's all there was to it. Either you agreed with Anthony Fauci or you were vehemently against him. And there was never any middle ground on this, folks. Either you loved him or you hated him. But people were calling me a liar for saying that the most important thing to me in this whole thing, even though I had friends who died, and I'm so upset. One of my best friends, his name is Bruce, he died. And you probably had friends and family who died also. But the thing that got me on this whole thing is that the mainstream media was complicit in helping him do this. He shut down not just America, but the entire planet was shut down because of this one guy. We come to find out potentially that why he was doing this whole thing was basically a big cover-up. That Anthony Fauci had funded gain-of-function research in this Wuhan lab in China, and now he's doing everything he can to shut everybody down. He doesn't want anybody to know about it because he screwed up. Okay? Instead of being the man and standing up and saying, I screwed up, I'm going to take... No, he didn't do any of that crap. Matter of fact, he did the exact opposite. He ran away from it. And then the mainstream media, Hollywood types, ABC, CBS, CNN, MS Now, all these guys jumped on board with him, and they were complicit in the deaths of millions and millions and millions of people because they got behind this guy. You remember what it was like, you guys. I mean, I know some of you remember exactly what it was like. It was horrible. That if you weren't wearing your masks, and I still have some of my masks on, if you weren't wearing your mask, if you weren't social distancing, they were calling you everything other than a child of God. And I think that was probably the worst part about it. So now, my biggest complaint now is nobody trusts the mainstream media because people found out that this was BS. This was not, oh, I made a mistake. This was premeditated. It was done on purpose. And now, as a result of it, folks, people are saying, can I trust my government? Can I trust the National Institute of Health? Can I even trust in anybody anymore? And that's probably the biggest problem in this. Because at some point, something else is going to happen. It's going to happen, folks. And then what's going to happen, folks? Who are you going to listen to? Well, anyways, when we get back, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in New York City. Zoram the Destroyer. This is Sherman Ray. This is Nevada Conservative Podcast. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, folks, we are back. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the broadcast today. Once again, folks, if this might be your first time checking out the broadcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know. Okay, I was reading some of the notifications I got on some of the new subscribers, and some people are really they either they don't like the truth, or it is. Or they like the truth and it's hard for them to swallow. And I get it. I mean, I do. I really do get it. Is that it sometimes you kind of go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going on. But it's the truth. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm just not going to do it. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let us know how much you love the show. And if you don't, just let me know also. And would love to do it. And if you would like to get on our mailing list, go ahead and write to us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. That's thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. So this happened in New York, guys. Many of you know Zoran Mamdani. He's the Democrat Socialist mayor of New York City. And he told the people, some of the rich folks down there, he said, hey guys, guess what we're going to do? we're going to tax the heck out of you to the point where you're just going to hate life. And he made all these promises to these people. He's saying, but he specifically said to the rich people that you're going to hate me because I'm a Democrat socialist and you shouldn't have all this money, and so I'm going to do all I can to get it from you. And a lot of people started leaving New York. That's the crazy thing. I mean, they were leaving, and they still are leaving. So his latest thing, though, was that he's got this thing called and I can't remember. It's called a pied-à-terre. So Pied, terre. It's a I don't know, a tax fee, some kind of fee that they put. And what this thing is, if you have a second home in New York City, excuse me, especially one that you don't stay in all the time, they're going to tax you for it. So imagine this, guys. You have you've been working all your life, and then finally you make enough money to buy a second home for rental income, okay? And I've done it, you know. I mean, I've done it a few times where I got a rental property, and that's the American dream, guys. I mean, it really is the American dream, is that because you're never going to save yourself into being rich. You got to invest your money. So let's say you came here from, you know, Mexico or wherever you came from, Italy, whatever, and you were able to buy a second home. And it may not even be making a bunch of money, but that's your piece of the rock, man. Okay, that's what you do. Okay, you bought a second home, and so Zoram goes, well, we don't want you to have that second home. As a matter of fact, because you have that second home, if it's a house, we're going to charge you 1% to 2% for having that second home. And number two, if you have a condo, it's going to be 5% to 6% if you've got a condo. And if it goes over a certain dollar amount, okay, so let me back up, okay? If your home is worth $5 million, it is going to be, okay, the second home is $5 million, okay? I want to make sure, because I had somebody really get on me about this. Oh, they were so, oh, you're lying. You're just lying. Okay, hey, Either if I left out some facts on, guys, it doesn't change what happened, okay? This is exactly what's going on, okay? So anyways, if your home is worth $5 million, it is a 1% to 2% tax on it. And if your condo is worth $1 million, which means anything in New York, because there's nothing less than $1 million in New York, it's going to be a 5% to 6%. And it's called a pied-à-terre. Okay, a pied-à-terre. Okay, it's a Frenchy kind of word, I guess. And so one lady gets this bill, and it's like $56,000 on her home. And she went, what the? She was upset. She's going, what the heck is this? How did I get this bill on my home? I lived here since '72. And she's got to go and find a lawyer because she couldn't do it herself. She figures she's tech savvy. There's a website, I guess, you can go on, and if you have a complaint about it, you can go and see if you can change this. She couldn't even get on the website, couldn't figure out how to do this thing, how to change all this stuff. And as a result of it, she had to get a lawyer. Well, Kathy Hochul gets on there, and so because people are upset, they're going, you doxed us, you told everybody where I live, you know, and everything. And she's going, well, you know, the tax rolls are been printed every year. It's an annual thing, so I want to make sure everybody understands this. This is something. This isn't new. You're right. It is not new for you to have a tax roll. Okay, pretty much. I know a lot of people, not a lot of cities, print their tax rolls and everybody knows who it is. Okay. This is different, guys. Kathy Hochul, you're a partial liar because you're doing a sleight of hand thing. The pied-à-terre thing is a whole different thing, and that's the list that these people are upset about. It's one thing to have your name as your tax roll and nobody knows who you are, but now a name is associated with the pied-à-terre tax that now people who invested their money, it's being associated with it. And now these people are pissed. So guys, this is Democrat, socialist, at work. And that's what the New York people did. They decided they wanted to vote somebody in to do this. And guess what? I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it goes. So anyways, when we get back, folks, you can we'll talk a little bit more about Democrat Socialists, because it's not going to end there, guys. It's going to get worse. Sherman Ray, the Nevada Conservative Podcast, back second. All right, we are back, folks. It's Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you guys for once again for being on the broadcast. We really appreciate it, and we especially appreciate all of the people on Facebook that are just blowing up our account. We went from I don't know, less than 1,000 people to over 5,000 people on our Facebook account in less than a month. Over 5,000 people. I mean, it just blew up. I'm so excited about it, and we encourage you guys. If this, and I guess it's a testament to what people want to hear. It's a testament to people who want to. It's not me, guys. Okay, I'm just a lowly, little Jamaican guy who goes on and on talking about things I think I know about. But this is really a testament of what conservatives rally around and what they like to talk about. And so I encourage you, and want to thank you once again. I want to thank you first, but I want to encourage you. If you want more of this, folks, let us know. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this with all your friends. Let everybody know. We will, and the more that we get encouraged, the more we'll do this. Okay, because we're working overtime on our YouTube, on our Facebook page. There's no doubt about it, working overtime, and we like that. Okay, so this last thing I want to talk about today is I want to talk to you about Democrat Socialists have a way of talking about things that is just very interesting to me. And let me see if I can find this really quick here. So here's the deal. You've got a lot of Democrat Socialists that are running for office right now, and they're winning. Okay, right now I believe they're up to 35 people who are primary candidates who are going to be running in November, December. And so, and one of the things that they're doing is they're fooling the public into believing that they are Democrats, or that what they are going to try to implement into American society is not this draconian, crazy, never works model called socialism. But they're wrong. And how they're doing this is they're basically saying to people things like, well, you know what, if you've got, one guy said this a couple days ago. He says, well, if you've got Social Security or you use the mail, then you've already got socialism. And then he said, well, and if you've got a library and you use that, that's socialism. Or if you've got a school that you go to, that's socialism. And so, and that's how they get people, because people are saying, oh yeah, you're right. They guess socialism not too bad, okay? And especially these young guys. You got these young kids, they're in their 20s, early 20s, maybe early 30s. They went to school, but did they really pay attention? I don't think so. They really didn't. And so let's talk a little bit about what they are actually doing. And are these things that they're talking about, is your Social Security, is that socialism? Is your library or your school district, are those socialist things? And the answer, I believe, to this is something that you are going to be just so flabbergasted by. And I'm going to try to do as much of this as I can. The article is actually on our website. And so I'm going to really kind of gloss over the article that we put up, posted up on the NevadaConservative.com. But you can read it. And for you as conservative, you need this, folks. Okay, you need this to tell all your friends, That's not socialism. That's not conservatism. That's not capitalism. Okay, you need this because guess what? They are telling your friends. You know, the friends that are out on the beach. You know, they're on spring break. Hey, what's up, spring break? Socialism, yeah, peace, man. Love socialism, man. Okay, that's not socialism, guys. They're being duped. Okay, and every time you hear these guys say stuff like that, because you're listening to this right now, you are going to be armed and dangerous with this information. Okay, let's talk about it first. Okay, so what is socialism? Okay, socialism. Oh, let me pull it up. Sorry. So socialism basically is the government taking over the means of production. Okay, the government is taking over the means of production. Okay, I'm gonna get up to this. Okay, it is not. So socialism is the government taking over the means of production. It is also the community or the collective making all the decisions for you. Okay, so those couple of things have to be present in this, guys. One is the government taking over the means of production. Okay, and another thing is that it is for the collective good. Okay, your Social Security does not fall under that definition of socialism. Okay, classical socialism involves collective or state ownership of the means of production, central planning of major economic activity, and allocation primarily by political decision rather than market and private property. Neither Social Security nor Medicare, because sometimes they'll say Medicare, meets that standard. Private businesses still own the factories, hospitals, clinics, pharmaceutical companies, and most of the capital stock. Prices, wages, investment, and most healthcare delivery remain market-driven, heavily regulated, but still private. The program sits on top of that system. They do not replace it. So here, I'm gonna put this back, unpackage it really quick. So yes, you have a system that says something, let's say Social Security or Medicare, that says, guess what? We're going to fix the prices for things. Okay, that's the system, that's the program itself, but it's sitting on top of a capitalistic system. Okay. The hospitals, the pharmaceuticals, the delivery systems, all those things are still capitalistic, but the program, the service, is just sitting on top of it. So it does not fit the classical sense of the word socialism. If it was socialism, guess what would have to happen? All this underlying stuff, the pharmaceuticals, the doctors, all that stuff, they would have to be government owned. The government would have to own all that stuff. So it is not that. The same thing with libraries. Okay, libraries libraries predate socialism or even anybody even thinking about it, and everybody has it. So you can't say stuff like, "Oh, guess what? Libraries fit into that category too." Okay, and I'm being very simplistic about this, folks, because of time and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of time for this, but a lot of the things that these socialists are going to try to put by you are a rhetorical device that they use. They're trying to hold a rabbit in their hand here and have a hatchet behind them right here so they can smack you on the head. They are using rhetoric to get you to say, "Oh, you're right. Yes, car insurance is socialist." No, it's not. So it's not at all, because guess who owns the insurance company? It's insurance, guys. And those things, and so a lot of the things that we actually have today predate capitalism. They predate socialism. They predate all these things, and many countries around the world already have these. So for you to say that those are socialists, they're not socialists. Okay, it's if the government owns the means of production for the things. If they own it and they dictate everything, it has to all be the same thing. Because if you take out, if you say that yes, that this is socialist, then anything the government does is socialist. And we all know that that's not, okay? The postal system is not, because guess why? Because there's competitors. There's competitors to the postal system, okay? It's just a way of getting things around that the government said that we got to get the mail out to people, but they have competitors who do the same thing. The streets, the same thing, guys, okay? They were just a way to connect everybody. So, okay, because we're out of time. So sorry. Read the article. Okay, go to our website. Go to our website at the Nomadic Conservative thenomadiconservative.com. You can read the whole article because I just don't have time to go through the whole thing. But in short, when Democrat socialists try to tell you that all of these things that you see around you are socialist, and we're going to be just like Denmark, okay, or Switzerland, whatever, okay? Same thing with Denmark and Switzerland, okay? They're very heavily taxed. They have a lot of charitable stuff they do, but it is all on a capitalistic society. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about taking the means of production from you too, which means, guess what? You ain't going to have a private business. Zoran Mamdani's already trying to do that right now in New York. He's starting to open up these government-run stores, okay? And they're replacing bodegas. They're going to be replacing your supermarkets, okay? Because they want to own the means of production, okay? They want full-on socialism, and guys, you do not want that in your lives, okay? Read my article at thenevadaconservative.com. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative. Thank you once again for being a part of the broadcast, folks. And we encourage you, go to our website, thenevadaconservative.com. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, because you can actually get this audio up on Spotify. And write to us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Anyways, we'll see you again tomorrow for more of the Nevada Conservative podcast. See you later, folks. Bye-bye.